Hey guys, this is Spartan117GW. I'm here with the guys from PTS. We have Jeff and we have Alex.
Hi.
And we have the Rm4 Erg electric recoil gun. Now this is probably one of the newest and most innovative changes to the AEG that's going to be happening pretty soon. It's going to be hitting pretty soon. So what can you tell us about this one?
So Greg, the thing that was really important to us was, as the continued evolution of where electric guns are going, we wanted more felt recoil, we wanted more functionality, we wanted to just keep pushing that direction and yet still be able to make sure that we had it in a affordable price point. It's like there's some other guns out there that have similar features, but actually they're a little bit lacking in some ways, but they cost more. This one's going to be aimed at about the $380 price point, which is more affordable than most guns out there. And it's got some really great features. It's got the last round fired, it'll stop functioning the gun, at which point you need to strip the mag, put a fresh one in, hit the the bolt release, or you can actually rack the charging handle, which some people still do with real firearms, and that sort of stuff carries over. And then there's also obviously the stronger felt recoil, and overall we're really excited about this gun.
Now it uses an 11.1 LiPo battery to power the system, correct?
Right. It needs an 11.1 volt battery because there's just more mass to move. I mean, Jeff will talk about the recoil in a second, but there is so much more significant recoil that because there's so much more mass to move, it needs a stronger battery. So we recommend 11.1 volt battery, LiPo, and we recommend at least a minimum 20C discharge rate. If you can go 25 to 30, that would be even better.
So taking part with the recoil system, what does that mean to guys in the military and law enforcement using airsoft to train? What does that mean?
So what this system means for law enforcement and military training purposes is that it allows the airsoft gun to be a more realistic training tool for military and law enforcement units that use airsoft for training, because originally using it because it's cheaper than other types of force-on-force equipment. What this means is the ERG has a manual of arms that is more similar to the real firearm. So it stops shooting on the last round fired, and then when you put a fresh magazine in, you have to hit the bolt release or rack the charging handle to get it to fire like a real firearm. You also have felt recoil, and it's a considerable recoil, more than you would think it's capable in an AEG package. Yeah. What that allows is it gives the trainee that extra component in the marksmanship part of an airsoft gun is you actually have some recoil that you have to manage. Right.
Well, let's demonstrate that real quick, just so you guys can kind of get an idea how the recoil is like. Switching up on semi, switching on auto. Now, as you can see, that is definitely comparable to a lot of the gas blowback guns on the market. But right now, real quick, we're going to demonstrate the bolt catch, how it activates. So as you can see, the last round would exit the weapon or the airsoft gun, and as you can see, trigger's mushy, the bolt is locked to the rear, strip the mag, and as you can see, all rounds have left the magazine. And in order to activate the weapon again, you have to hit the bolt catch, or if there was actual ammo, you'd cycle the charging handle and you'd be back in the fight. Now there's a couple interesting features about this airsoft gun, the magazine.
The really cool thing about this magazine, and one of the things that was important to us when we were developing the gun, was that a lot of consumers told us, hey, we want all the really cool whiz-bang features of having the gun stop firing on the last round, but they also wanted to be able to have cross-compatibility. So this gun will still work with a regular PMag, but because the regular PMags don't have an internal follower, it won't stop the gun firing on the last round. But it allows you to be able to be sort of more competitive with guys who are running higher capacity magazines. If you want to grab a magazine off a buddy and he may not have an ERG or may just only have regular mags, you can grab one off them. But like you were saying, a really cool feature with these PMags, these particularly ERG PMags, is the fact that once you slide off the base plate, you can do that right here, and you simply just push out the internal body, there's actually a switch right here. Now there's a 30 or 60 round switch. If If I push this in and to the back, it's now set at 30 rounds. If I push this in and forwards, it's now set at 60. It's essentially a stopper that prevents how many rounds you can put into the gun. So you can actually go sort of real capacity, which is 30 rounds, which is what you would put in a real AR-15. Or you can go 60 rounds. You can even simulate the some of those larger real capacity, high capacity magazines. But essentially allows you to train and tailor your equipment for how you need to train or play for that day.
And that's definitely awesome that you guys kept in mind what the player needs, what the player wants, being able to use Toki Marui compatible magazines,
yep.
but also using the enhanced magazines that'll really give the weapon, the airsoft guns, full functionality with the cycling bolt, the 30, the 60 rounds, definitely for training, creates that realism that the SWAT guys and the military guys need for that training scenario. Now, do you guys think you'll be seeing these in the hands of SWAT guys or officers training on the field today?
I think so. Airsoft is already becoming more popular as a training tool. Again, primarily it started out because of cost,
yeah.
But with this new system, it's going to make airsoft that much more attractive and much more of a viable training tool, because you have that, you've already talked about the felt recoil, the manual of arms. Now we have that with gas blowback systems, which have recently become more popular. But as we know, as airsoft players, the drawbacks with gas blowbacks are you get cooler weather, and if you shoot a lot on full auto, you get that cool down feature. Also, from a training standpoint and an administrative standpoint, AAGs are a lot easier to keep up and running when you're running a training scenario or a training day. Gas blowbacks, they seem to be more difficult administratively to keep up and running during a training evolution. With an AEG, you're just refilling the magazine.
Right.
11.1 battery is going to last you all day, especially in a training environment.
Now, what's definitely cool is that you have the Scout version with the 14.5-inch barrel, but then you also have the CQB version with the 10.5-inch as well.
Absolutely. So that was a pretty cool feature, is the fact that, you know, a big trend in the firearms industry right now is they want 14.5-inch barrels, but they want a mid-length handguard, because then you have a little bit more reach on the front of the gun. But there's a lot of people who really like shorter guns, you know, like a 10.5-inch CQB type gun. So we also have the CQB variant coming out as well, and that will be with the 10.5-inch barrel with the carbine length handguard, and those two will be hitting the market at the same time.
So make sure you guys check out the Rm4 Erg. Hopefully we'll be seeing it soon, hopefully in the hands of SWAT officers or military guys and airsoft players out in the field, just making it happen, winning and competing on the field of battle. But big thanks to the guys at PTS, Jeff and Alex, for bringing this airsoft gun here today, just to show you this is one of the only, if the only, production model that's out there right now. So definitely a pleasure. I want to thank you guys personally for bringing it out, because this is awesome, and I know I'm going to be picking it up. Don't forget, it's going to be coming out in the Scout, the 14.5-inch, and the CQB variant. So all players out there, there's going to be something for you, and I'm telling you right now, the functionality is there, and it feels so awesome. So make sure you guys check it out. I'll see you guys on the battlefield.
James C. Burns, and play Sergeant Frank Woods in Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2. It's time for you to subscribe to Spartan 117GW, baby.